Hi guys, and welcome back to the Daily Duggan Dish. I'm Jamie Duggan, this is my kitchen, and tonight we'll be making chicken noodle soup. It's a very cold and rainy day here in Pittsburgh. It's fall, definitely. Turning the clock back on Halloween. Excited but not excited. Excited about that extra sleep, but not excited about all the extra dark we get. So, to help warm us up and get us nice and cozy after a long and very stressful day, we're going to make some delicious homemade chicken soup. I'm going to leave the recipe at the bottom, and I've modified mine a little bit with recipes. That's what they're good for. Make it your own. Go ahead. If you want to make it your own, you can. Or follow the recipe as written. I'm going to make ours a little bit healthier tonight. Usually we make the chicken in the pot with the oil. Instead of doing that, I've got the George Foreman heating up, and that's how I'm going to make the chicken. I also, instead of doing beans, I took the beans out, and we're actually going to do some noodles, which is normally called for. So we're going to change it up a little bit. And also, there's a pesto sauce you can add. Last time I tried it, it really didn't work, so we're not going to do that. I am going to add some fresh basil and some Parmesan cheese, and that'll be just as good. So let's get cooking. Okay, so we're going to start off with 2 teaspoons of oil, and I'm going to put that in this pot, which you really can't see, and I apologize, but when I get the soup going, I'll take a couple snapshots so you can see what's cooking on the inside. So let's start off with 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Okay, and let's get that heated up. Like I said, I like to spread it around a little bit. Hey, look at that. Okay, and next we're going to add some carrots and some red pepper. Now my little trick with this is I don't have the money to waste, and in the beginning I was learning I was wasting a lot more food. So the way that me and my husband do this, since it's only me and my husband, especially with carrots, we usually don't use a lot of carrots. So I will usually just buy a can of the canned carrots, and that's just enough for this meal. It's perfect. It's a little bit healthier if you ask me. It takes a little bit less time. And if you've ever seen semi-homemade, I kind of get my cooking off of that as well, because a lot of my stuff I buy pre-canned or pre-filled or whatever. It makes it a lot easier to do a dinner and put it together, especially with our busy lives, to try to get it on the table, and it takes 4 hours. You know, I don't have the time for that. So let's get the carrots and the peppers going as this heat is heating up, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so right here I have diced up about 1 pepper, a small red pepper, and we're going to throw that in there. And as you can hear, my pan is perfect. Now we're going to add the carrots. Okay, and we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes and try to get them a little bit soft. So I'll be back. Okay, so while I have my carrots and peppers going, I'm going to go ahead and stick the chicken on the George Foreman grill. I'm trying to get my head on here. And these are 2 thin chicken breasts, and this is actually the chicken that I used last week in the packet for the chicken sandwiches we made last week. So I didn't need all 4. So I took 2 and froze them, and that's what we're using for this meal. Save money that way. Cost efficient. So we're going to stick these on here, and it'll cook. It'll tell me when it's ready, about 4 or 5 minutes usually. It doesn't take that long, especially with a thin chicken breast. So, all right, let's go check on those peppers and carrots. Okay, like I said, I do semi-homemade. We're supposed to use a clove of garlic, but I'm going to cheat. You want to make your chicken soup a little bit better, use fresh, but I cheat. So this is about, it's usually a teaspoon. Or a half a teaspoon with this kind of jar. I usually like to use a little bit more than that. We love garlic in this house. So what you're going to do is you're going to throw the garlic on here, about a clove or a teaspoon of your favorite garlic substitute, or garlic and oil, and let that cook for another minute, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are done with the garlic for the extra minute. Now all you're going to do is, usually it calls for about 5 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to go ahead and add actually 8 because we're going to add the noodles in next. So that will help cook the noodles and not make it just noodles with no broth. So here we go. In goes 4 cups. Be careful not to burn yourself. And I try to use the low sodium because it can get really salty, which is why I love chicken broth, but I also hate it at the same time. So, if you're looking for a healthier situation, you might want to try that. And there goes the next 4 cups. All right. Now, to that, I'm going to add a pound of spiral pasta, or egg noodles. I know, I should have already had these open. Okay, so this whole bag goes in, and then it's going to cook with the broth and the vegetables. And this is going to cook for about 7 or 8 minutes, so we're going to wait for that to continue cooking, and we'll go check on the chicken, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the chicken's been cooking about, let's say, it's been about like 5 or 6 minutes, and I went ahead and cut into the chicken to make sure it's done, and it is. I love the George Foreman. So what we're going to do now is we have to let this chicken cool a little bit because we have to cut it into pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. And now for a Duggan peanut trick. We all like those, right? Me and my mom realized we loved George Foreman, but it was a pain to clean up after. So a friend of mine taught me this great idea that when you're done with the George Foreman grill, you take 2 wet paper towels as soon as you're done, and that'll help get the grease and the dirt of the chicken and everything off of there real quick. And it's so easy. Once you're done eating and enjoying and relaxing, come back and take off the paper towel, wipe it down with a sponge or a washcloth, and you're good to go for the next time. So just a little tip for you. Like I said, take 2 paper towels, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, make sure they're soaked, and then close up the George Foreman grill and let it actually do the cleanup for itself. So we'll continue back here when we're done with the soup, brewing and stewing and everything. And also I wanted to mention, this is the first time I did the pasta noodles in the pot. I know, I'm going on like I do, but I did not think there was enough broth. So what I did was I had an extra container of vegetable broth that I had in the fridge. So I went ahead and added that, and that was about 2.5 to 3 cups of broth, and that went to cover the pasta. So just in case you are going to do the pasta, I would maybe do 12 cups, 10 to 12 cups of broth is probably a better arrangement. So I apologize for any confusion I may make. So good luck, and I'll see you back. Okay, also in the directions, you'll see that I was supposed to add marjoram in there along with the chicken broth, which I usually do. However, I messed up on my shopping skills and thought I checked my spice drawer, but I guess I didn't. So I was out of marjoram, but you usually just put about I think it's a teaspoon and a half of marjoram in there. And that's just some kind of spice that you can add. You can add all kinds of other spices if you want. Make it your own. So right now what we're going to do is everything's heated up. The chicken broth, that was about 6 minutes. So what I'm going to do next is you're about to add 5, this says 5 cups of spinach. I swear, all these recipes, they give you so much more spinach than you actually need to. And I figured it was way too much. So basically what I did was the spinach I had left over from the other night of making the chicken sandwiches. I put back, and we're gonna throw in this. So again, cost saver. That's how you do meal planning. So I'm gonna throw the rest of the bag in there, and that's gonna cook for another 5 minutes, and I'll see you back when that's done. Okay, it's been about 8 minutes. Side note, this is the first time I did pasta in the pot, like I said. Sometimes you learn while you cook. Sometimes it doesn't always come out perfect. If you're gonna do the pasta, I would suggest doing the pasta in a separate pot and then throwing the cooked pasta in. I was tasting it to make sure it was done, and it's done. It's just got like a, I don't know, like a doughy flavor. So just so that doesn't happen to you, do your pasta in a separate pot. Just boil it, make sure it's cooked. You can even pre-do that if you want to, and that will save you a little bit of time putting this thing together. Or don't do pasta. So what we're going to do is now we're going to add the chicken back in. It's all pre-cut, as you can see. Okay, right? Yeah? Okay. So this is, like I said, this is the grilled chicken. It's a little bit healthier than what they were suggesting. So we're going to add this in, and then we're going to add some Parmesan cheese and some basil. Let this chicken heat up a little bit, probably about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll pull it up and we'll be perfect to go. So let's go ahead and put the chicken in. Okay, we're going to let that incorporate. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add the Parmesan cheese. And my soup has been going about 3 minutes now, almost 3 minutes. And that's hot enough with the way the chicken broth is boiling. We're about ready. I'm sure the chicken's pretty nice and hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of the Parmesan cheese. You can eyeball it as you wish. Just throw that right in there. And you can use fresh basil, or like I said, if you don't have fresh basil on hand, you can always use the powdered kind that comes in the McCormick bottle or whatever brand that you like. Usually with the powdered stuff, it's about a teaspoon for regular. You get 1/4 of a teaspoon of powdered. So I'm gonna add 1/4 of a teaspoon of that. I'm gonna double that just because I like the taste of basil. So let this heat up for another minute, and I'll be back once it's boiled up so you can see how beautiful it is. And the smell in here is amazing. Okay, so we are done. We're all plated, or bowled as I call it. It's a bowl, and as you can see, the steam coming off of here, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous color. I think the noodles came out okay. It's kind of like maybe dumplings instead of just chicken noodle soup, so it's okay. It's still good. So I'm gonna get my husband to eat because we've had a very long, stressful day, and of course, again, we're doing a late dinner. It's 8:22 here in Pittsburgh, so hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy making this if you decide to make it. Do your little tweaks, make it your own. Let me know how it turns out. Let me know if you did something different. I enjoy hearing any comments, and I'll take any criticisms you have. The first one I did get was I talked a little bit too fast, so I'm trying to slow down. Like I said, give me a few videos before you break off from me and not watch me ever again. So enjoy, bon appetit, and have a wonderful day.